This is Julia Budd, and you're listening to MMA Ground and Pound.
Hey everybody, this is Giancarlo Aulino reporting for BarnBurner.ca. BarnBurner's more than twice daily, even on the weekends. Fired Up shows are available on 114 platforms and the BarnBurner app, which you can get on iOS and Android. Welcome to another edition of the Ground and Pound MMA show with a very special guest today. She is the reigning Bellator Women's Featherweight Champion, Julia Budd. How you doing, Julia?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing great. Looking forward to this discussion here because you're kicking off a new decade of Bellator MMA against one of the greatest fighters of all time and one of the most iconic arenas in the world today. So just how significant is this fight with Cyborg to your career in terms of where you are now as a champion and everything you've accomplished in the sport?
It's the perfect timing. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to get in there.
And right now, when you see Cyborg coming in, how exciting was that for you? Because Cyborg coming in, the name recognition, and she's coming into Bellator, your turf right now. So how significant was that for you?
It was super significant. It's just been like, I didn't prepare. Like, yeah, I'm just ready for it. I'm ready for I cannot wait to get down there to LA and get in there and show the world who I am.
Yeah, and as you know, Cyborg, the last two fights, Amanda Nunes, and of course that unanimous decision win she had over Spencer. With that in mind, have you seen something different in her performances? Like a lot of people maybe say, oh, there's a decline here, or maybe she's lost a step. Have you seen anything at all in the way she's performed?
You know what? I'm prepared for the very best Cris Cyborg. I'm prepared for her to be extra motivated, extra hungry, and come in at 100%. So. I can't really say that, and I know sometimes when I know how motivated I was after a loss or not a good performance. So that being said, I got to just go in there with the mentality that she's going to be at her absolute best, so that I'm not, surprised when I get in there with her. So yeah, we just prepared for the absolute best.
Yeah, and also, like, you talked about learning from a loss, and you've only lost twice in your career, but it was really earlier on. Like, you've gone on a great run, especially now in Bellator. You're hitting your stride. What have you attributed that turnaround to in terms of your preparation and what you've learned in the sport?
I've just learned so much, and I've just been constantly evolving as a mixed martial artist and getting my game, learning new aspects of the game and getting good at, really good in certain areas and building on my weaknesses, and that's just been my constant focus. And this has been my main focus of like me while I'm in mixed martial arts. I want to be the absolute best in my division, and that's just been me constantly growing as a mixed martial artist has been the reason why I've been able to stay on top.
Even going back in that time, like your skills and striking have been great. We've seen that in the finishes you've had inside the Bellator cage. During that time when you're learning in MMA and transitioning from one sport to another, who are some of the people who really stuck by you and really took you under their wing and showed you how to really be successful in this?
I've trained at the same gym for 21 years. And Gibson Mixed Martial Arts in Port Moody, and just growing with my sparring partners and my training partners and my learning. It's been amazing, and through the losses, it's like I think that a lot of it is like, even though when I lost, I stuck with the same team, and I realized that a lot of this comes from within. So it's this kind of learning has been, yes, I've been with the same team, and I got to say thank you to all them that have really stuck by me and worked with me and turned me into the mixed martial artist that I am today.
And coming into this fight, you've had some time off. This main event was made official back in September, so that's a great amount of time to prepare for an opponent like Cyborg. What has that day-to-day preparation been like for you? Like, who are some of the people maybe you've brought into this training camp and helped you become the best Julia Budd for Bellator 238?
It's been grueling. Like it's been so challenging. I gotta thank Lance Gibson Jr., Lance Gibson Sr., all my sparring partners, Paul Nguyen, Ken Ishii. These are all guys that have been with me from day one and helping me to grow and become the best me I can be. They've been training with us for over a decade, and yeah, it's just been, I've had lots of great guys, and all my training partners I got to thank for that.
And also another interesting part of this is in January, and knowing back in September that this fight's being made, your training camp is also taking place between the time of like the holiday season. So I've always wondered about this. Like for a fighter, is it difficult at all, like having a training camp during that time?
It wasn't for me. It was just like, I feel like it was, I've had one focus. My focus has been on having the best performance of my life, January 25th, and nothing got in my way. Like, it was just like Christmas we were training, New Year's we were training. It's just been, we've been on a steady just going for it. So it didn't slow me down at all.
This is MMA Ground and Pound with our special guest, Bellator Featherweight Women's Champion, Julia Budd. Julia, just to shift gears a little bit here and talk about like women's MMA as a whole, you've seen a lot of differences from when you started in mixed martial arts till now. Just what are some of the differences you've noticed, and is there anything you'd like to see, maybe improvements or something you've like added in terms of the landscape of women's MMA?
No, I feel like it's just getting better and better and better, and I feel like it's so cool. You almost never see a card without a female fight on it. More women are doing the sport, and I was just like, basically our gym is mostly, we've got so many little girls and teens that are in training now and getting really good. And I feel like the sport is just taking off, and you're seeing such high level female and male mixed martial artists getting in there. So I'm just excited at how popular the sport's become and kind of the development and the evolution of it.
And it's just like that popularity. And in Bellator, they've done a lot of these Grand Prix type of tournaments with all the divisions. Do you think that your division right now would be a perfect candidate if they were to do a women's Grand Prix?
Yeah, that would be very cool if they did that. I love what they're doing with the Grand Prix in the other divisions in Bellator. It's been so exciting, and it would be cool for sure.
And you're in Canada, British Columbia. We're here based in Toronto with BarnBurner. So you've seen Bellator hold their first event in Hawaii and Japan. Just what will it take to get Bellator to come to Canada with you, of course, in that headlining fight?
Well, I think me winning this fight will be a definite. I think they owe it to me for that. So let's hope that they come to Canada. I have so much family in Toronto, and it would be amazing to have it here in British Columbia. There's a lot of great Canadian athletes in Bellator, and I feel like it would be amazing. So that being said, let's really hope that they come after this fight.
Before we let you go here, what message do you have to your fans, especially here in Canada, and who follow you and are hoping for the best and a win in this fight?
Yeah, so make sure you guys tune in on DAZN on January 25th, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to have the best performance of my career, so make sure you guys watch. As well, I got to thank my sponsors and my team at Gibson MMA in Port Moody. I love you guys. And also thank you to Dominion Lending Centers, Nucor Environmental, Apollo Sheet Metal, and D16 Electrical. Thank you guys so much for making this possible. And yeah, make sure you guys tune in on DAZN.
How can our listeners follow you on social media? Are you on Instagram, Twitter?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram at Champion Jewel and on Twitter at Julia Budd.
Well, Julia, I'd like to thank you for sharing your time and coming on the Ground and Pound MMA show, and I wish you all the best in your fight against Cyborg.
Thank you so much.